Take a look. There ain't no F in Dayton.
The City of Dayton is hoping to pass its first earned income tax increase in 32 years.
Congratulations, Dayton. As of January 1st, 2017, you'll be paying the same income tax as Oakwood. Will you have the same services? No. Will you have the same schools? No. Will you have the same sense of security? No. So, how do we turn things around? Let's start with what's broken. Sound like a good idea to you? While Mayor Whaley is going to tell you that downtown is coming around, you and I all know that when young families with money's kids hit 5, it's time to head to the burbs or the private schools. Newsflash, people move to Oakwood because they have good schools. Not new schools, not one-to-one computers. We have schools with a big fat F in every way. How are we going to fix it? Well, for starters, schools are paid for with property taxes. And if you don't charge property taxes on the rich companies like GE, Emerson, and CareSource, and leave it to the rest of us, our houses aren't worth as much because we have crappy schools. It's a vicious cycle. And when you let businesses leave without cleaning up their business, you and I all pay for it. So here's the plan. Let's start out with what school is these days, a big preparation for a test. Given in the spring, everything we do after that doesn't matter because we have the summer slide. The 3-month break that sets our kids back where they lose 20% of their progress and we have to spend time getting it back every year. So there are 2 options. Start our 180-day school year earlier and end on the last day of testing, or go all out and go to year-round schools. But even if we eliminate the summer slide, we're still behind people because we've got a community beset by poverty. That doesn't go away. We need something radically different. In other developed countries, they have a longer school year, and in some cases, a longer school day. Suppose we changed everything. Let's move to a longer school day and a longer school year, but change up what we expect of our teachers. The construct we have now is from a different age. Why do the rest of us go to work for 2,080 hours a year, and they only officially teach for 1,080 hours, and yet make a respectable salary? Not great, but respectable. We are not an agrarian society in Dayton. Why are we on a farmer's schedule? The fable is that after the school day, they have to go home and grade papers and do all these things on their own time in order to make it work. Why is that still acceptable? So what we propose is that teachers only spend about half the school day in actual instruction, with the other half of their day split between grading, planning, and what we call guided activity time. What is guided activity time? It's letting teachers share their passions with students, be it computer programming, history, chess, knitting, gardening, photography, or the normal extracurriculars we expect, sports, band, theater, cheerleading. And with the longer school day comes a saving for parents as well, in that daycare and after-school care costs are cut. Our kids are in a safe environment with responsible people, learning life instead of just learning to take a test. And when it comes to getting kids to and from schools, on time and efficiently, we'll change that up too. No more running buses up and down side streets that were never built for buses. We have them drive to a neighborhood collection point where the kids from a neighborhood walk to. They ride the bus to a drop-off point on a street built for buses as well. And they may have to walk a bit to get to their building, but not too far. This way, our neighborhood kids get to know their neighbors. And no more scramble to find bus drivers to work a split day for part of the year. With year-round schools, we have full-time work for them. Not only morning and evening routes, but for kids looking for guided activities that fit their interest, we have the option of switching buildings midday to get kids into programs that make them want to go to school. But even with these kinds of major changes, it's still not enough. Our new one-to-one computer program is a great start at bridging the digital divide, but it's not enough. We need to take things to the next level. If we stop relying purely on property taxes for school funding, we'll be able to do some amazing things. Imagine this, a tax clawback from the big companies that have benefited from tax breaks. If a tax break is given to a company that pays people more than 5 times the average income of a Dayton resident, 0.25% of the company's total income tax will be diverted to Dayton Public Schools. We'll do the same thing with the income tax of residents of any properties where the developer was given subsidies by the city. This won't effectively raise taxes on anyone, but will make sure that economic development isn't funded by giving away school revenue. Using these funds, we'll be able to build out a citywide Wi-Fi network for all, because we know that internet access is essentially a fundamental human right. We want to get everyone across the digital divide and make good on that city of learners line that someone keeps spouting off about.
There is no issue that is more important to Dayton's success than the quality of our schools.
Our kids can continue learning after they get home. They can teach their parents about coding, help them acquire new skills, or apply for jobs online. And we don't have to slave to pay Time Warner or AT&T for the right. Students will get on the DPS internet for free. Everyone else can get an account based on wages with subsidized rates for low-income households. Say goodbye to minute phones, Dayton. Within the city limits, talk all you want. We also know that some kids don't go home to homes that are safe, or even homes at all. For them, we'll take the old Marine Corps Reserve Station and create a residential school program. Sometimes it's long-term, sometimes it'll be short-term intervention, but we're going to make sure every kid who wants to stay in the district can. College prep is a great objective, but some of our students aren't necessarily college material. We need to rebuild our programs for vocational training from the building trades, because if you look around, there sure are a lot of buildings waiting for some help in our city. To IT support jobs, there's no reason our students can't be the people who build and manage the Wi-Fi network, for example. There is no learning quite like hands-on. If this doesn't look like the district you know now, it's because it's not. It's a vision of what could be. It's a district that should attract people back to our city, knowing that their kids will be in a school district that realizes that while there may be a D in Dayton, we're aiming for a different kind of district, one where we're shooting for an A. It's this kind of rethinking of school systems in urban areas that attracts grant money from forward-thinking foundations. And if you give us the go-ahead to remake the district, we should be able to attract major money for doing something bigger than anything that's been tried before.